Hello everyone. Good evening from Central Valley, California. Out here in Bakersfield land. Weather is changing. Time is changing. Seasons are changing. I believe last night we set the clock forward, spring forward an hour. So, happy Sunday, March 13th. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2 years ago, around this time, that the pandemic was officially declared. Wow. What a long, strange trip it's been. Strange indeed. Hope you all are doing okay. Let me know in the chat. Good to see you all. Hola, Tati. ¿Cómo estás, querida? All right. Santia Das. I have to come to Colombia. We got to make plans. I want to come to Colombia. All right. Thanks for the waves, everyone. So, I did a live on Friday. It was spontaneous. So is this one. A little bit more thought out, I suppose. But on Friday, I had a funky Friday kind of day. So I thought to go on live and connect with you all and share practice. Gracias, Tati. I miss you too in Chile. I'll come back one day to Santiago, Viña del Mar, Valparaíso. I'd love to visit again. My Chileno friends. All right, so there'll be some kind of interruptions like that as I connect with you. But I was thinking, so on Friday, I wanted to, we did a happy hips and hamstrings practice, and we'll get into a little bit of that this evening too. But I shared a quote from Christopher McCandless. If you're familiar with the story of Christopher McCandless, Into the Wild, it's a book turned into a movie. I've seen the movie. Great story, powerful story, with a little bit of sadness, sad ending, but there's a lot of realness in it. And one of the quotes he shares is that happiness is only real when shared. And you can interpret that however you like. It could be also content happiness in solitude and in your own company, within nature and your own heart, but also you feel something when you connect and share with others. Saludos, Clau. More friends from Chile, waving back at you. So here I am sharing whatever. So Friday was Funky Friday, and today is Still Sunday. This is a word expression I'm borrowing from my beloved sister, Annie. You can look her up. She's a great writer. She wrote a blog on Still Sundays. You can check it out. Annie Q. Sayed. Check out Still Sundays, Annie Sayed. And I'll bring up some really wonderful writings by my own sister. So I'm borrowing her word expression, Still Sundays, because today I had a great moment in stillness, so to speak, in a meditation group that I'm a part of. That I've been part of since the start of the year. The start of the year. It's a twice a month group facilitated by a wonderful person who guides us through a meditation. And that same person has started another group that weeks meetly in March. So, if you value meditation, great. I know I do, but I don't have a chance or as much opportunity to do it. I've tried to include it as daily as possible. 5-minute sitting, 5 to 8 minutes, 8 to 10. 10 would be amazing, to set a little timer and meditate for that much amount of time. And of course, in the yoga practice, the seventh limb in the 8 limbs, the seventh anga, dhyana, sometimes called meditation. It could be interpreted as that, but also contemplation or reflection. Kind of a way to have a sense of connecting, a union with the outer world and you, and dissolving that duality, so to speak. So anyway, in my meditation today, the group that I practice with, they're more in the Buddhist tradition. They're rooted in the Buddhist tradition, particularly Vajrayana Tibetan Buddhism. And I'm grateful for my teacher. Hey, Visa, good to see you again. Hey, Sue, friends from Oakland down to Santiago. I love it. That's why I'm here, connecting with you again. So thank you for joining. I want to speak a little more before we get on the mat. So gather around, meditate with me, contemplate, and have a moment of reflection. We'll reflect in some sense of gratitude, what we're grateful for, and also reflect on impermanence. Because in this meditation that I experienced today, and they're all kind of different day to day, but I was able to, for that brief moment, and this one was long for me. It was a 20-minute meditation. That's pretty long for me. But in that, there's brief moments in it that I felt a disarming experience of just letting go of what I was expecting out of the meditation. And in doing that, there was a powerful or profound pause. That meditation is not a passive experience. It can be seen as that. You're just sitting there passively. But it's felt very dynamic, active, and engagement in disengagement, if that makes sense. Engaging in disengaging from the movements of the physicality of the outer world, the fluctuations of the outer world, and within the inner world. So that was cool. I enjoyed it. It also helped me connect or reflect on the sense of time as we've changed time into spring now. Hola, Eva. ¿Cómo estás? This sense of, I don't know if you all, wherever you're tuning in from, there's some states I know in USA, the United States, Estados Unidos, that don't change the time. I believe Hawaii is one of them, and there's one or two others that don't change time. But I don't know if other parts of the world you don't have that change. It is something funny to think about. What is time, and why do we change it? Well, I know it's for daylight savings, and probably is rooted with something in, I don't know, agriculture and farming, or who knows. But hey, more sunset in the spring, or longer sunsets are delayed. I don't think out here we'll see the sun setting before 7 until like end of September, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, it made me think about time as we've passed through time. And part of this passage of time, I don't know about you, but it's constantly, for me, has been thought about living. Not so much dying. But it is, without getting morbid about it, we are dying in each moment as we're living. Especially, I don't know, as I'm on my 4th floor now, entering my 40s, yeah. In my 40s, my first, I'll be 41 this year. That each moment we're choosing to pass through, however, active or passive, that there's a impermanence in it all. So that, I'll share with you the book that we use in this meditation group that I've been part of since the start of the year. Hey, Asha. Thanks, brother. You're looking good too. I know you are. All right. Homie Varun's in the house too. Bay Area family, Instagram fam, Bay Area fam. I miss the Bay. I do. I need to come back up there. East Bay, North Bay, West Bay, San Fran, South Bay. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked because I'm getting nostalgic with folks in the live chat. So, Pema Chodron, maybe you're familiar with. Yeah. This is a oldie but a goodie. Never gets old. When things fall apart. So this was something I read back in college, where I went to school in East Bay in Berkeley, and it came back around 10, 12 years later, and yay area, that's right, Varun. Yay area. It's making me laugh. It's bringing joy to me to connect. We haven't even started our practice yet, but this is part of the practice, the connection. That's why we do it, yeah, to connect. And in some ways to disconnect. Sometimes off these devices, but here we are on the devices to connect, yeah? So back to this, Pema Chodron, When Things Fall Apart. I'm going to read from chapter 10, just a brief little bit. Curious about existence. Recognize impermanence and suffering and egolessness at the kitchen sink level, and be inquisitive about your reactions. Find out for yourself about peace and whether or not it's true that our fundamental situation is joyful. Now there's different parts that she goes on to talk about. I'm going to, just for our conversation here, talk about impermanence. But before I do that, a little preface, not to bypass spiritually in any way, to talk about that there's some kind of joyfulness in times of war. All right, so let that be clear, that there's nothing joyful about war times. And we are holding space, peace, love, and strength for people in Ukraine, for people in crisis who need it the most. Anywhere in the world there's war going on, sending love and strength. Okay? So hold that in your heart as we hold this meditation, contemplation on impermanence. So here's Pema talking, okay, via me to you. Or I'm talking to you via Pema, however you want to word that. Impermanence is the goodness of reality, just as the 4 seasons are in continual flux. Winter changing to spring. Here we are, spring. Spring to summer, summer to autumn, just as day becomes night. Light becoming dark, becoming light again. In the same way, everything is constantly evolving. Impermanence is the essence of everything. It is babies becoming children, then teenagers, then adults, then old people, and somewhere along the way, dropping dead. Impermanence is meeting and parting. It's falling in love and falling out of love. Impermanence is bittersweet, like buying a new shirt. Years later, finding it as a part of a patchwork quilt. That's quirky. I'll say that again. Like buying a new shirt and years later, finding it as a part of patchwork quilt. A quirky way I put that. So, I'll continue reading. Hope you're into this, all right? Hope you're digging it. We're talking about impermanence on this Sunday evening for me here, and we're going to get into a little practice. So hang around. We're going to move in a moment, all right? This is Pema Chodron. I'm reading. People have no respect for impermanence. Hey, that's true for me. I disrespect it sometimes. We have no delight in it, in fact. We despair it. We despair of it. We regard it as pain. We try to resist it by making things that will last forever. We say things that we don't want to wash, things that we don't have to iron. Somehow, in the process of trying to deny that things are always changing, we lose our sense of the sacredness of life. Wow. We tend to forget that we are a part of natural scheme of things. Impermanence is a principle of harmony. Impermanence is a principle of harmony. When we don't struggle against it, we are in harmony with reality. Many cultures celebrate this connectedness. There are ceremonies marking all of the transitions of life, from birth to death, as well as meetings and partings, going into battle, losing the battle, and winning the battle. We too could acknowledge, respect, and celebrate impermanence. All right, so we'll leave it at that, all right? And let's just have a moment of, just gratitude, whatever that means to you. I have a daily gratitude journal given to me from a lovely soul last year in my life for my birthday last year. And I use it to, write things I'm grateful for. There's prompts. What would make today great? a daily affirmation, and then there's an evening part to reflect on, something great that happened. And I'll include this moment in my gratitude journal today, this evening, this moment with you. All right. Hola, Fabi. Tudo bem? Friends from Brazil joining in. And how could I have made today even better? All right. So I try to do it daily. All right. Sometimes I fall short. Yes, there are some entries not completed. So I try to do it daily from the start of this year. And at the start of each page, there's a quote. And today there was one that resonated in a powerful way. It's an unknown source. Maybe you've heard it. Remember, what you forgive, you heal. And when you let go, you grow. It's a powerful one. When you let go, you grow. Easier said than done. And sometimes I've learned it's not all about letting go, actually. You got to hang on to something. So that's why we have our practice, an embodied experience through mind, body, and spirit. All right? So we're holding space for forgiveness, self-forgiveness, forgiveness of others, however you want to apply that. Holding space and gratitude. What are you grateful for? Just have a moment to think about that. Sometimes it's just this very moment to be present, to be here, to be alive, to be breathing. Hi, Somia. Mama Somia is joining. Thank you. Say hello to baby Drew for me. Beautiful boy. So hold space for gratitude for yourself, or whatever you're grateful for in your life. Send out love, support, strength, and peace for those in need, those in crisis, and also meditate and contemplate on this dance of impermanence as we pass through life, this passage of time, and these changing times, these unknown times. There wasn't enough change in time that we actually change our clocks to make it even more changing. So we set the clocks forward, springing forward into spring. Spring solstice is upon us, and we'll get into our practice. All right. So are you ready to move a little bit? So it'll be a floor-based practice. All right. So I'm going to talk a little louder, and then as the sun sets, we'll probably shift gears. Move my shoes out of the way. All right, so prop-wise, don't need much, all right? You, yourself, and that's it. Me, myself, and I. Your body is your first prop. Quoting Mr. Iyengar there, yeah? You could have a blanket. I've got a blanket, perhaps a bolster. If you have it, great. If not, all good. So come to a seated position. I'm sitting on a blanket for my buttock bones and to bring some padding. With legs wide position. We can call it B shape, Upadishta. So I'll let you be your own teacher, all right? As it should be. Make it an inquiry-based practice. Inquire within. Let me be the guide. Find the guide within. And you can be as active or passive as you like, all right? So if you want to have legs completely straight, lift your kneecaps, spread your toes, you go for it. All right? Otherwise, different tempo, different pace, different time. There's space and time for it all, okay? All right, so I'm going to do a movement with my kneecap, all right? So I'm going to hold my patella, my kneecap, with my hand and move it up and down, and then in and out, and then all around. So little kneecap circles. You probably can't see it from that far away, all good, but if you can feel it, because you're holding your kneecap right now and shifting it in a circular manner, and then switching direction of that kneecap circle. And then other side, kneecap, up, down, in, out. Different knee to knee. Interesting. All right. You take your hands behind you, bend your knees, lift your chest, pressing the hands down, chest lifted. And then extend. So I'm going to, I think Instagram doesn't mirror if I'm not mistaken. So this is my left leg, all right? So I'm placing my right foot underneath the left calf so the heel is elevated, allowing me to circle that left foot ankle in a rotation, a circular rotation. Are there other kind of rotations that are not circular? So moving the foot, ankle, and if you allow the shin to move, all good, or you can limit motion there, that's up to you. Okay? You can make it independent ankle movement, or interdependent, codependent shin and ankle, knee and thigh, all moving, all good. Okay? All right, and switch it up, opposite side. So I'm placing the foot underneath the calf so the heel is off the ground, and then circling the foot, right foot for me here, ankle around. So you can make it interesting by blocking out motion at the shin and just moving the ankle and foot, or you can just let it go, and if the shin moves, knee moves, that's okay too. Do what feels best. Is your present situation joyful? That was from our Pema Chodron meditation there. All right, so we got our knees and ankles moving. Yeah. So now back to this Upadishta-ish position. You're going to bend your knees and fold the legs into a Bharhadvajasana like position. Okay? It doesn't have to be called that, but since we know it through the yoga asanas as such, I'm calling it that. Then hands go back, knees open up, take the legs out wide, then bending the legs, folding, bringing the shin of the back leg, it's my left leg, over the ankle, over the sole of the foot. So knees this way. Now, instead of going back to legs wide apart, I'm going to take the hands behind me, the right knee stays down, I come into a Baddha Konasana position, and then I level out the knees, so I lift that knee off the ground, and drop the other knee down, and then fold this one over back to Bharhadvajasana, just the leg position. We haven't added the twist yet. So let's do that again. So I'm lifting, leaning back as much as I need, you do too, as much as you need, up, away through a Baddha Konasana, without lifting this knee up, and then lift the knee up, and then folding over the other side. Now see if you can do it without your hands. Look, ma, no hands. All right, so if you can't, go for it. So through Baddha Konasana, to the side, Bharhadvajasana. Back. So you can have the palm joined, you can have hands behind your head, arms up, whatever helps. And of course using the hands on the floor if you need to. Now come back, open the legs out, wide again. And then you can hold the inner knees, or active. Active meaning you're not supporting. So you can be passive with the tendons, the groins, or passive, or active, Baddha Konasana. And then no hands, Upadishta. A little rocking motion. Baddha Konasana, Upadishta. I'm coming forward a little bit. You want to come down to your elbows, forearms. Go for it. And then just sitting in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose with the hands behind, feet pressing in, heels pressing in, knees and thighs apart. You can lean as far back as it feels comfortable, or if you want to go forward, make it interesting and joyful for yourself. All right, legs wide again. Now, bending the knees, going into that Bharabhajasana to, it's my left side, adding a turn, so arms go around, hand in front of knee, hand behind the blanket, behind the hip, lift the chest, turn the chest, and then come back around, up and over to the other side, hand across, hand behind, lift up, turn, and then again, this time deeper twist. One option is to bring same elbow to same leg like this, press, turn the chest, or elbow to opposite knee, thigh, press with the palms, lift, turn the chest. And then release, come out, opposite side we go, come across, elbow, elbow, elbow to thigh, palm to palm, or elbow across, opposite knee, thigh, palm to palm, press, turn the chest. Press, turn the chest. All right, again we do. So, I like this one inside, the same leg, same arm, pressing, and then opening the arm. And this one's bent, this one's straight, pressing, lifting the chest, turning the chest. And then joining, closing, pressing, opening. Around, no hands. Down, open, closing, open, around. Now, we're moving again, but this time open up the Bharabhajasana to something like this. And then bring the hands around, arms around. So my left hand is behind, right arm comes around. I'm going to turn the arm, reach behind me. Can you hear me? And then spin the arm, hand around, behind, folding the legs from the Bharabhajasana-like position to this, sometimes called the shin box position. Hand goes back, arm goes front, turning the arm, turning the chest, turning the head, reaching, and again, coming around. Shin box, back, reach. If you wanted to bend that back arm, you could do that and reach. Straighten, come around, shin box. Arms can bend, lower down, reach across, come up. Now open up this leg position a little bit more. More like a 90-90 degree-ish, 90-90-ish of the legs. And then bringing the arm around, turning the chest. I like to rotate that arm. You can do something interesting. You can raise the arm. You can lower the arm. Take it around. Take it back. And circle around, behind, hands. Rolling over the buttock bones, over to the side. Open the angle more. 90-90. Around a couple more times. Do something interesting. Make it fun. Make it joyful for you. You could straighten the back leg, straighten this arm, reach across. Bend the back leg, bend. You can make that a movement right there. Just reaching, turning. Add a sense of novelty, surprise, something unexpected, but following intuitively, and of course, steering away from any painful sensations. All right, cross your legs. How are we doing? Let me check in. All right, if you're practicing with me, let me know in the chat. All right, everyone's waving, wave, wave, wave. All right, waving back. So many waves. I like the waves. Okay, but if you're practicing along, let me know. Sun is setting. So once it gets dark, well, I'll try to make it short practice. We're gonna, well, let's see. If you're practicing along, we keep it going, all right? Got some more stuff going on here. But yeah, I'm a fan of doing this floor seated hip work, going from wide leg, knees bent, side to side, without use of hands, with use of hands, both. Maybe try eyes closed. And close the eyes. All right. So it's not just hips, it's spine, waist, chest, shoulders, arms, neck, head, yeah? Ankles, feet. Right? We're rolling over the feet side to side. A little bit of everything. So, all right, so we're going to continue. So here is, you don't have to have a bolster, but if you have a bolster prop, you can have a bolster. And then I'm going to have you put a blanket, if you have a blanket, on this side here. We're going to get into a little bit of movement with the legs lying back. Let's see if this fits into the camera frame. If not, I'll make it work. There she is, Nessa, Trap Queen. What is up, my friend? All right, she's not trapped. All right, don't get it twisted. If you know, you know. Trap music. All right, she's a queen. All right, so we're lying down on a bolster. Okay, hips, buttocks on the bolster, arms up to the side. All right, let's move our legs around like we're underwater. You ready to swim? Let's swim. So you can hold on. Well, you don't have a mat this wide, but you can hold on to the sides of the mat or arms out to the side. Maybe you have a mat this wide. I'm enjoying my big, wide, large mat, yeah? All right, so put one foot down, one leg up. Lower this leg down. Raise this leg up. Take the leg out to the side. Circle it around. Up. When you go out to the side, you can bend the leg. Straighten it. Bring it in. Raise the leg. Opposite direction. Go out, go down, out. You can bend the knee. Bring it around. Kick it up. Lower it down. Let's do that on the other side. So right now we're keeping one leg bent. In a moment we'll do it. Other leg straight. So using the bolster here to create a little tuck in the pelvis, a little roundness in the lower back. Not that it could be done another way, but just we're choosing to do it this way. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Goes up, out to the side and around, up. You can bend the leg, drop it to the side, straighten as you bring it around. Switch direction, lower it down, out to the side, bend the knee, bring it in, raise it up, lower it down. All right, so continue. Okay. Option to have other leg straight. So think of this like Supta Padangusthasana, okay? But without holding the big toe, unless you wanted to, you could hold the big toe. You could hold the foot. You could use a belt, but right now, without any props, or without any, we're using the bolster prop, without any strap. So leg goes out to the side, up, down, up, out, around, in, up, out, around, in, switch it up, out, down, out. Anytime you want to bend the leg or legs, you can bend. Okay. Switch legs. Leg goes up, out, down, in. Up, out, down, in. Switch direction. Hope you're feeling some core activation too. How could you not? Some reflexive core work going on. If you're not, lift your neck and head up. Tuck your chin. Look towards your pelvis. Look towards your abdomen. And release. Bend the knees, feet down, feet apart, knees apart, feet together. Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. Now, you could try both legs. So circling, legs around, down. You can bend the knees, bring them in, extend, take them out. You can bend the legs, take them out. Straighten when you go up. Do whatever makes your situation joyful. All right, now we're going to do a movement. That's why this extra blanket is here, if you're wondering why this blanket is here. So watch, I'm going to bring my lumbar spine onto the bolster prop, okay, instead of the pelvis. And I'm going to press with the arms down, lift the hips up, knees to chest, and then bring myself up, and I land on that blanket so my tailbone and buttock bones don't slam into the ground. Okay? You can't do it actually flat on the ground, and on grass it's great, but in case it's sensitive, good to have some padding. Then into Navasana. Legs up, arms up. You can hold the bolster, press it into your back. See, I'm wrapping my arms around. It's a nice little seat here. And you can lower the boat. Ardha Navasana. Paripurna. Ardha. Paripurna. And then situating that bolster prop. And using that bolster to rock up, come into Baddha Konasana, knees in, roll back, slow landing onto the shoulders, like you're going to go into Halasana, go up, land, Baddha Konasana, you can reach with the arms forward, back, up, down. You could have additional blanket for the shoulder if you wanted padding there in case you're not controlling, but I want you to see if you can have a decelerating, controlled experience so that way you're engaging or at least allowing for sort of some control from the core. Control from the core on the floor. So you could tap into a little tap Halasana, Baddha Konasana, or Karnapidasana. Baddha Konasana. Now, if you want to go super slow, see if you can hold this position without buttocks landing, without shoulders landing. So kind of like a hovering Pavan Muktasana. Hovering meaning you're floating. So clear the space here, but if you drop, that's okay. Even this rocking, you feel it. And then come up, take the legs out, Upavishta. Take your arms up, you can clasp the thumb fingers or interlock fingers, however you like. Come back. Now, we're going to go back to where we were before. And because it's getting dark now, it's not that dark, but dark lighting, yeah? We'll wind it down, okay? So we'll wind it down, do a little breathing, and that'll be our practice for this Sunday evening. Thank you for joining, yeah? Yes, thank you for joining. So you could make the bolster a little taller if you want to take that extra blanket. You could situate it, so use your rock and rolling strength. There's so much more we could do with this. Navasana. Roll back. Halasana. I said it was over. Now we're rocking the boat, man. You can go into Ubaya, Parivishtasana, holding the toes and then not holding the toes. Holding the toes, not holding the toes. All right, so you get the idea. You can have fun with this, yeah? So, what I was saying was you could do this, or if you have a moment to do a, check it out. So that's an approximate measure for where my shoulders will go. There's a gap here. So this is just for my shoulders, this is for my hips. I'm going to push up and away into a halasana. So if you needed more padding, of course, you would be mindful to do that, but a little halasana here. Plow pose. And then bend the knees, roll back onto the bolster, lift the hips and move the bolster towards the hips pelvis a little more. And And however you can, lift your neck and head up. If you want to put the blanket behind the head, great. Behind the neck. Or maybe over the abdomen, pelvis region. I'm going to straighten my legs out and rest here. Do whatever feels comfortable to bring yourself to a resting position. Just have a moment to surrender and suspend in time and space. Letting go of what day it is, what time it is, where you are in space. So just bringing a sense of, hopefully, freedom from that letting go. Like I said earlier, it's not all about letting go of everything. You gotta hold on to something. Hold gratitude, love, forgiveness within. Let go of any psychic weight, existential weight. Let it dissolve. All right, stay longer in your rest by all means. Otherwise, I'm going to lift my hips up, move the bolster behind the buttocks, thighs. Other blanket is just on top of the thighs, over pelvis or abdomen. I'm taking my hands to the ribs, chest region. Just connect with your breathing here. Soft, slow, smooth inhalation. Fill up your lungs slowly, smoothly. When you fill up, see if you can have a pause. Hold your breath. Before you exhale, take another little sip of an inhale, and then exhale, long, smooth, complete exhalation out. Let's do it again. Inhale, soft, soothing, smooth inhalation, fill up your lungs. Pause when you get to the top, lungs full, chest open. Pause a little longer. Sip in a little more breath, and then exhale out, exhale, exhale, empty the lungs, deflate diaphragm. One last time we'll do soft, soothing, smooth inhalation. Fill up your lungs from the bottom to the top. All the way to the top. Pause and hold. Hold a little longer, a little breath retention. Sip in a little bit of inhale, and then exhale, 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 and arms overhead. Straighten the arms and legs out like a yawning stretch. Open fingers, spread the fingers, spread your toes. And then bend the knees into the chest, roll to a side. While I roll to, rest against the floor for a moment. Touch the ground, face the ground. And then push off the ground, bring yourself up. Sit in any position you'd like. We'll close out our practice together. All right, so we had our meditation and contemplation on impermanence, gratitude, forgiveness, on letting go, and also holding peace within. Peace within and extending out to those in crisis, those who need it most. Send love and strength and peace and wellness to those who need it most in this world right now. Bow your head towards your heart. Just have a moment of gratitude for the time and space to practice. Good fortune in your life to have practice. And you can lift your head. Thank you for joining. Hari Om. All right. So thank you. Hope that was fun for you. Certainly a joyful experience for me to share some thoughts, some contemplations from the meditation group that I've joined start of this year. So grateful for them. And yeah, thank you all who dropped into the live. I'm just checking comments and hellos and waves, lots of waves. Thank you. I appreciate you all. All right, so any comments, questions, curiosities, or just feedback? Thank you, Viso. So nice to have you again. I appreciate you. I miss you. I know I'll see you soon again. This was fun. It really brings a shift into my day, you know? I'm going to do this more, I think. I get too hung up on technical stuff. It's got to be the right lighting, right camera, AirPods on. Everything's got to work right. And that was our chat today about the impermanence from Pema Chodron's book that I was reading from earlier, When Things Fall Apart. Obrigado você, Mayra. De nada. De nada. All right. So, yes, find out for yourself about peace and whether or not it's true that our fundamental situation is joyful. We could acknowledge, respect, and celebrate impermanence. So I leave you with that. Make of it what you will. And I'll see you soon again. All right? Peace and love. Be well. Take good care. I'll see you soon again. Bye-bye.